Do you have what you want to have in your life? Are you being who you want to be, doing what you want to do when it comes to your health, your relationships, your job and money? Well, that's what we're here to talk about. My name is Angela Powers, and I am an instructional designer. I help businesses and coaches create online training, and I'm here with David Essel, who I'm a huge fan of. David is a coach, a speaker, an author. He's written 9 books. His latest book is that positive thinking will never change your life, but this book will. It's about the myths of positive thinking and the reality of success. And David has been rocking the coaching world and many, many lives, including mine, in the coaching world for quite a while. And, this is kind of his latest book and very important work around the topic of positive thinking and the whole positive thinking movement. And so today I'm excited to have you here, David, and talk about this together. We're going to talk about the visualizations, affirmations, and what's the third one? Prayer, and how
you
use them as action.
So many people, when they see the title of the book, they actually might even think that we are anti-positive thinking.
Right.
As you and I have explained in this series, we firmly believe in the power of positive thinking, but only to the effect that it will impact your goals by about 20%. So what we're going to talk about today, affirmation, visualization, and prayer, are crucial. Oh my gosh, they're so important. But the big difference that we share with this book and with the 6 other New York Times best-selling authors and the hundreds of stories in the book is that this is what we've been taught. We've been taught that if you just affirm correctly and visualize correctly and pray correctly, that you can radically change your life. And unless it's a miracle, it's not going to happen. So the book is all about saying, let's get real. Let's use these powerful, powerful tools, affirmation, visualization, prayer. Let's use them for what they're intended to do, to be guidelines. But they're only going to be 20% of our success. And I'm excited to talk about this topic today because we need to get the correct information out there so people don't go down the pathway that so many have followed and hoping that if they just change their thoughts, they can change their life. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, and so it's about putting it in its rightful place, sort of in the big picture of what you're doing around your goals. And and what's the difference between, or why all 3? I mean, I think everyone probably has their own definition of what a visualization is, what an affirmation is, what a prayer is. Why all 3, and how do you do this if you're, like especially around the prayer? What if you're atheist or you're agnostic? Like, who are you praying to, and how do you do that?
Yeah. That's a great question. People can use one of the 3, or they can use 2 of the 3, or they can use none of the 3, because we even write about in the book that you can be a negative thinker and become a millionaire. You can be a negative thinker and have a rockin' body. The power of thought is beautiful. Now, I'm not going to say go down that path. If you're a negative thinker, I don't want you to say, I'm just going to stay negative and jaded in this world. It's a lot more fun to be positive, of course. But it doesn't mean that you can't accomplish great things and be doubtful, fearful, insecure, because people do all the time. And when it comes to affirmation, visualization, and prayer, you may find one of them that you absolutely love. And so I'd say stick with it. You don't need to use all 3. I happen to use all 3 because for 30 years now, I've found great benefit in each of them. Affirmation is simply affirming that which you have in your life and that which you want in your life. So we kind of split affirmation up into 2 categories. One is affirmations of gratitude. I am so grateful for the body that I have, even though it's not perfect maybe, but I really appreciate the body, or the money. I'd like to have more, but gosh, I'm so grateful that I can afford my rent or my mortgage or whatever it might be. We look at part 1 of affirmation as being gratitude. And I think gratitude is powerful. These 3 techniques that we're talking about today is what heartmath.org has got into great research on, to show that when you have gratitude and when you visualize and when you have prayer, now all this means with emotion. Mm-hmm. So you can't just have an affirmation that says, I am grateful, and expect it to do anything. Like, I am grateful for. HeartMath.org has shown through their studies that when we use affirmation, visualization, and prayer with emotion, that there's a cascade of chemicals that come down through the brain, serotonin, these neurotransmitters that lift spirits up. So it's powerful stuff. So we want to say, whatever you're going to do it with emotion. The first one, affirmation, is either in gratitude or it's for something that you so desire. So I am grateful for the body I have, even though it's not the beautiful body that I want, that I'm working hard to achieve, but I am grateful to have it. The second part regarding our physical health with affirmations might be, I am grateful for the size 8 body that I am working so hard to attain. Maybe you're a 16, maybe you're a 12, but affirmations can be done in that way. I'm rocking the world in my size 8 body that I work really hard to maintain every day. And that's kind of the nutshell of the world of affirmation. Powerful, hell yeah. Is it all we need? Hell no. That's what the book goes into.
What about saying something like, wouldn't it be great if, like, does that kind of work? Or do you really want to stick with the I am?
Over the years, one of my great mentors, Wayne Dyer, a number of years ago, going back into the mid-90s, explained to me the power of I am, and he said it comes from the whole scriptures of all different religions, the word I am. Almost all the great religions of the world use the word I am as a way to build momentum. Mm-hmm. You want to use the words I am. It's not absolutely 100% necessary. If someone said, I think it'd be really great if I had this beautiful size 8 body, that's an affirmation. So I don't want to get so hung up, because this is where we've gone wrong in the past too. And I've taught this incorrectly, that someone comes out with a new way to do affirmations. And when you're standing in the corner facing west with your left arm out to the side, it's like people come up with this craziest crap. When the I am affirmation came up, it resonated with me. I said, I like the way that feels when I say it. So I've been saying it ever since Wayne brought it to my attention years ago. But it doesn't mean it's the only way. We want to be able to use affirmations in a way that feels comfortable to us in a positive situation, so that we are really thinking about what we have with gratitude or what we want. And you can even say it's here right now. Now, here's the only caveat I'm going to say about affirmations.
Yeah.
A lot of teachers tell us that we should be affirming that we are millionaires, that we have a home in Bali, that, we are, I am a size 2 when we're a size 24. To me, that's insanity. The subconscious mind says go ahead, Angela, tell me what you're going to say.
Oh yeah, I was just going to say, I'm sorry to interrupt. I was going to ask you about that, because like, if it feels too far away, like, how do you gauge where your affirmations should be? How do you how do you write it or think it in a way that's like, yeah, and you do get excited?
Well, the terms we use, and this is kind of hard to judge, but the terms we use is it should be exciting yet reasonable. So if someone's earning $25,000 a year and you say, I am earning $100,000 a year and loving my work, the very first thing, I take that client aside and I say, okay, now tell me the gifts that you have, the talents you have, and how many hours a day are you working to go from $25,000 to $100,000? If it's reasonable that you can go from 25 grand a year and in 12 months be at 100,000, I'm going to say go for it. But what I'd rather have someone do, Angela, is double it. So instead of going from 25,000 to 100, go to 50. Mm-hmm. Like that's the way that we've taught since 1996, 20 years now, is we've said to people, get off of this roller coaster about I'm a millionaire, unless you've got the gifts, the talent, the energy, the forthright, and you're doing the work to become a millionaire, then great. Mm-hmm. But otherwise, it's an absolute waste. And here's the problem. The subconscious mind, which is the ruler of all, it's the king of all, hear you say, I am a size 2 and loving it. When you're a size 18, the subconscious mind is saying, give me a break. Like, that's so unrealistic. You are not even close to a size 2. You're not even close to 100 grand a year. You could actually sabotage yourself because you're trying to trick yourself. And the subconscious is too smart for that. So we want to say, do something that's exciting. Absolutely. And affirmations is exciting, also realistic. Because listen to this. Let's say you go from 25,000 to 50 grand. Well, hell, change the affirmation to 100.
Right.
Halfway there first.
Right. So yeah, it seems like kind of an art that to know, because like even like okay, say rewind 10 years ago when we were working together and you said let's double it, and I was like, I'm still not even there. I
Right.
don't know if that's possible.
Angela, it's great that you remind, to all of our viewers that don't know the story, Angela and my story, she contacted me over 10 years ago after listening to me on a nationally syndicated radio show. And, I said to her, we got to this whole thing about money. And I said, let's double your income in 90 days. I know we can do it, but you're gonna have to work 5-6 days a week. You're gonna have to put a lot of time in. And her mindset was, oh my God, double my income. But I knew enough about her, and I knew enough about the fact that if she just did the work, it was going to happen, that was realistic. And we did. And in 90 days, she doubled her income. And that's I'm glad you brought that up, Angela, because that's powerful. That's the type of stuff we're talking about. Where you are right now with your income and saying, I'd like to double it in X amount of period of time is realistic for most of us, as long as you're willing to kick butt 5 days a week. Don't fall into some kind of illusion just because you say an affirmation, your life's going to change. Unless it's a miracle, ain't nothing happening, baby.
And I had to borrow some of your belief because I really I think I was almost at zero belief that this was really going to happen. So I was still in that, yeah, it would be nice if, but I didn't really think that was a realistic goal.
No. And that's why we tell people, Angela, in the book and in my lectures and radio and everywhere else, is that if it's a big goal, you're not going to accomplish it on your own. I have coaches, I have mentors, because I need someone to believe in me when I'm not feeling it. When I'm not feeling it, I need someone in my corner saying, come on, we can do this. All we need to do is A, B, C, D, E this week. And that's the power of mentors, coaches, counselors, personal trainers, is if it's big, there's odds are we're not going to do it by ourselves.
Yeah. And I think that's the piece, like we want to be able to read an article or blog or book and just kind of do it on our own and then show the world. And that may or may not have, it's kind of hard to gauge, like, what is that realistic, exciting affirmation and goal that you want, or that you can actually achieve. And it's really hard to know that on your own.
It is. And that's one of the problems of going to weekend seminars and reading books, what you just said. That's why you need the personal attention of a coach, a therapist, a minister, a personal trainer, a nutritionist. You need someone who's not biased, that can say to you, when you come to them and say, I really want to lose 200 pounds in the next 6 months, is that they can look at you and say, wow, you've been saying that affirmation for years. It's never happened. So let's cut it back. You need someone who's realistic, that can look at you in the eye and say, I'd like to help you with that, but we're going to have to alter your belief system. Listen, I do weekend seminars. We love getting people excited, but we don't ever lead people down a path of saying you can become a millionaire by taking the seminar. It ain't going to happen. You can become a millionaire if you go to the seminar and hire a business coach and work your butt off. Yes, but it ain't going to happen by going to a weekend seminar or even reading a book, unless it's a miracle. We hold space for miracles, but they're very rare.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, cool. I don't know. Anything else you want to talk about on this topic?
Well, visualization is next. I have had some of the most amazing coaches, brilliant minds. Dr. Dennis Waitley comes to mind. I talk about him in our new book, Positive Thinking Will Never Change Your Life. And I tell a cute story about, he was a mentor and idol of mine. Dr. Dennis Waitley was one of the first people that talked about visualization, seeing in your mind the end result of what you want with emotion. And I remember, listening to his audio cassettes, oh my gosh, going back into the 80s, and how he had worked with astronauts and gold medal Olympic athletes and had them all visualizing the end result. And show in the early 90s, I remember I was talking to him about the steps of visualization. Slow down and take deep breaths and close your eyes and see yourself in the position that you want to be. If you're on stage with a gold medal around your neck, or, people clapping, or you receiving a check for $1 million, or whatever it is that you want to achieve, a bestseller book, whatever it is, like, see it. And then he kept saying, David, you got to feel it. You have to use your emotion. And I really believe, Angela, that visualization is powerful. I mentioned in the book, the first hour of every day for me is spent in prayer, meditation, affirmation and visualization. You know, I really believe, to me, it's the best way in the world I can start the day. And right now, as a matter of fact, in a week, I'll be going to Syracuse University to do the commencement address for the graduates of the School of Education there. It's going to be outrageous, you know, and I rehearse my presentation. I see myself already in Manley Fieldhouse where I'm going to be speaking. You know, I see the people engaged. I see myself giving information that's relevant to them, and I get really emotionally excited. That's the same thing we can do with weight loss, making money, creating deep love. Visualization is really important. It's not enough, but it's a great tool.
So yeah, and what if you can't visualize anything? I think that we tend to be taking in a lot. You know, like and part of our work together, I've had to take media diets where, you know, it's like you don't take in any news, you don't watch any TV, you don't listen to the radio when you're driving, all that kind of stuff. You know, and that really helps a lot in terms of then starting to create your own thoughts versus always consuming and taking things in. But my question really is about if you can't visualize it, is it too big and then you need to, you know, just take the next step and maybe work with what you can visualize? Or do you, maybe this is where people working together with somebody can really help. If they can help you visualize it, then you can start to get those details in your mind.
You know, you bring up something really interesting. I'm going to go off in a slightly different path here. You know, some people can't visualize at all. They can feel, but they can't see in their mind's eye. And there's nothing wrong with this. It's just, I've worked with many clients. I've given them visualization techniques and they come back week after week and they go, David, I just can't conjure up. I can't see anything.
Yeah.
So then I go, okay, well, write down the emotions that would happen if you lost the weight, made the money, found the great relationship, you know, spoke on stage in front of 1,000 people or whatever the goal is. What would you feel? So they write down all these feelings. You know, I'd feel warm, I'd feel accomplished, I'd feel successful, I'd feel happy, I'd feel thrilled. Then I would say, so instead of worrying about mentally seeing the future in the present, mentally and emotionally feel the end result of making the money, speaking on stage, writing the book, finding the deep love. Does that make sense, Angela?
Yeah, it does. So you're not visualizing necessarily with a image, but with a feeling at that point.
With a feeling, yeah. So then we turn it, we'll call it feelization. Maybe that's going to be my next book.
Yeah, I mean, we do hear about different types, you know, like some people are more visual, some people are more auditory, things like that. Like I've done meditations where I've read them to myself, recorded it, and then listened back to what I said. And that's really helped me, like my own guided thing.
Yeah.
So whatever works, right?
Yeah, it really is. And what I would say is if you've never used visualization before, get a hold of Dennis Waitley's CDs or Kelly Howell. Kelly Howell is another amazing visualizer, a great teacher, and we've interviewed her multiple times. She rocks. And see the future or feel the future, but use audio CDs, use coaches, use ministers, use, you know, therapists, counselors to help you achieve these goals. And the last thing, and I know we just have a couple minutes, Angela, is the power of prayer.
Yeah.
You brought up something earlier, and if someone's atheist or someone's agnostic and they don't believe in prayer, then don't even go there. I mean, there are some people that so firmly believe in prayer, they'll never visualize or affirm, they just pray. In our book, we talk about a couple things. You know, number one is that the most powerful prayer that you could ever say, according to incredible authors in this world, Matthew Fox is one. Reverend Matthew Fox, he's just I think he's written 30 or 40 books. But so many people say the most powerful prayer that we could ever say, thank you. When we go into gratitude with prayer, you know, thank you, God, or thank you, Creator, thank you, universe, thank you, the trees, the ocean, nature, whatever, you know, your higher power might be, is when you say thank you, even if it's you don't have exactly what you want, you can start to resonate at a much deeper level, which is we all want. We want to be grounded. And then you can say prayers for others. You know, in my morning work, I say I pray for the world wherever there's suffering. I pray for people I don't like. And I think that's really important for me to get humble and to pray for people I don't care for. I pray for people that don't care for me, and there's millions. You know, I don't care. how motivational people might think I am. There's a lot of people that don't like me. I pray for myself to be guided. I ask to be guided every day. That's a form of prayer to me, is to say, I'm not sure how to fill in the blank, create this income, change my body, release this addiction, forgive this person. I just don't know how to. Please guide me. Please show me. Like that universal prayer where you're getting humble and you're saying, I don't know the way. Guide me to the right person to work with. Guide me to the right church that I'll connect with. Guide me to the right group. Guide me to the right gym, for God's sake. Guide me to the right profession. Like, get humble and ask for help. And that can be a beautiful prayer as prayers of thanks, Angela.
Yeah, this has been a big impact on me in the terms of the thank you piece. And even, in the middle of, and it's gotten to the point where, because I've sat down for a long time now, day after day in the morning and written things out. And so that I can now, which I couldn't do before, sit, in the middle of something really upsetting or stressful and go, oh, wait, is there anything I can be thankful for in this very moment that can help start shifting me out? But that's taken me quite a while to get there.
Yeah. If people are watching this and they're filled with anxiety or pain or fear or doubt or anger or rage or resentment or guilt or shame or anything else that's really bothering them right now, another prayer outside of thank you. When we interviewed Dr. Reverend Fox, he said, I don't think there's any other prayers you need to say other than thank you. But if there was another prayer, I would say get out of yourself. If you're in pain, if you're in a tough place in life, get out of yourself and look for other people to pray for. Write down a list of people that need to be prayed. You don't even have to know them. It might be refugees that need to be prayed for. It might be abused animals, abused human beings. It could, there's so many different things. But if you get into a practice of writing and thinking about other people while you're in pain, those prayers, Angela, could actually help you.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, and there's a lot of people still in slavery. It's 2016. That's a big cause of mine that is really important to me, and is praying for people who are still in slavery. And it's really hard to imagine, we're so free, and so we have so many choices and such a great, standard of living and everything here. It's hard to imagine.
We have so much to be grateful for. As we close today, I want to, for everyone who's involved in our online course, the power of the book, and the power of the stories in the book. We have thousands of stories, thousands of stories of people that have overcome great challenges and odds. For people that aren't in the course, that you're watching this right now, you can get chapter 1 of my book absolutely free at my website, talkdavid.com. Positive thinking will never change your life, but this book will. You can get the chapter 1 absolutely free to get a taste of what it is that we're doing here. And of course, the book is available via our website, talkdavid.com. It'll take you right to Amazon. You can see all the reviews. We've got tons of reviews from big name people and people we've never heard of that just absolutely love the book. So take advantage. The only person that's in charge of changing your life is you, and the only person that can take the next step to change their life is you. So don't put it on anyone else. Take action today. And Angela, as I say goodbye to you, let our audience know how they can reach you with the work that you do.
Oh, sure. Thanks. So my name's Angela Powers. You can find me online at learnwithangela.com or on Facebook. And I'd love to hear from you. So reach out.
Absolutely. Hey, until next week, everybody, stay strong, stay powerful, stay humble, which means ask for help. Angela, I look forward to seeing you next week.
Awesome, David. Thank you. Have a great week. This is awesome.